All right. Good evening. The May 2024 monthly meeting of the Dixon County School Board is now in session. For the record, I'd like to recognize that all our school board members are present, including Tanya Baker, the board clerk, Scott Mullins, school board attorney, and Mrs. Robinson, the division superintendent. At this time, would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? Thank you. So we have an agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, there are no additions to the agenda.
Okay. Hearing that, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So move.
Is there a second? Have a second. Any discussion? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, motion carries. That brings us to public comment. Mr. Hackney, would you please read the guidelines for public comment? And Ms. Martin, will you be our timekeeper, please?
A period of time for public comment will be designated on the meeting agenda during which the public may comment on issues related to public education. The Dickinson County School Board believes that the citizens of the county should be heard and that this is an acceptable format for receiving public comment. After the public comment section of the meeting is closed, the public shall not be allowed to participate in general board member discussions regarding agenda items. Public participation with the board members regarding agenda items can be disruptive, and the practice is prohibited by Robert's Rules of Order. It is the desire of the school board to treat each member of the public fairly and equally. Allowing one individual to participate while excluding others is unfair. The board may hold such public hearings as may be necessary to allow the public to more fully express their concerns, or the board may place the public comment section of any meeting at the end of the meeting to allow additional public comment. While we do not wish to restrict the free expression of opinion, we feel that certain restrictions may be necessary so that order and reasonable standards of decorum may be maintained. We ask that the following standards be adhered. The speaker will be recognized by the chair. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes. Speakers will refrain from the use of vulgarity or profanity and will avoid negative or embarrassing comments directed towards specific children or students. Board members should not respond to issues presented by speakers unless clarification is necessary. Matters of concern raised under public comment will be referred to the proper official for investigation and future board consideration if necessary.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hackney. The board would like to recognize Mr. Steve Short, BPE. Welcome, Mr. Short.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Ms. Robinson. As I was coming here, I was thinking about around 2012 when Ridgeview was in the major planning stages, and look at where Ridgeview is now, even with the addition. And that's about growth. That's about moving forward. And it's been said, if you're not moving forward, you're going backwards. Mm-hmm. And I honestly believe that's what Dickinson County is doing. The finance folks are amazing. I can't imagine the numbers that they have to deal with. And it's amazing at what they're doing and what you folks are doing to improve the quality of education in Dickinson County. I do have some quotes. Lou Holtz, I think some of you know Lou Holtz, football coach, Notre Dame, South Carolina. He said, "Do what is right, give your best effort, and show people you care." And I believe that's happening on all levels. Vince Lombardi said, "Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence." And I honestly believe in having attended the meetings and seeing the successes that you recognize, those kids are chasing perfection, and they're experiencing some excellence in the process. Lewis also said there's 4 things in life that are needed, or you'll have a void in your life. Those are simple: something to do, someone to love, someone to believe in, and something to hope for. And I just praise you folks. A lot of times you hear the downside for what you're doing in the growth of Dickinson County Schools.
Thank you, Mr. Short.
Thank you.
I'd like to recognize Ms. Phil Smalls. No, Mr. Tiller? Okay. All right, I was guessing. We got one on one and one on the other, so I didn't know. All right. You could come with you. How are you, Mr. Tiller?
Hey, you doing all right?
Yeah.
There we go, that's a little bit better. Once again, thank you all. We thank the board for allowing us the opportunity to speak. I know we had a little bit of the confusion, which means that our term's coming to an end, and Phyllis will be assuming the role of president going forward. It's a role that she served in before, and will be doing maybe a better job than what I just did right there. We've been finishing up some of our business, getting ready for the consolidation and the new, getting some representation in place, finding new representatives and making sure that we're covered in all 3 or all 4 buildings, counting the Career Center. We are hoping to have a more fluid next year with some more, with everybody being up here. Hopefully it'll get some more interest, more participation, some of the things that we've been working on. Other than that, we've been like everybody else. We were waiting for the budget to come through with the state. Glad that they could come to a compromise and still have education and the teachers in there. I know we didn't get everything, but we got what we wanted. Not to sound selfish, but now if we could only hopefully everything else on all the other levels, because I know that where you all stand, and now we know where the state is. Let's hope that we don't just go 2 out of 3, that we can get 3 out of 3 without being too specific. I think everybody knows. Let's hope that they also share what seems to be the state's view on education, and notice that it is not just one side or the other, that it's everybody. Let's hope that everything comes through. Otherwise, that there's going to be a little bit of work, I guess, maybe on your all's end. But I know that you all can do it. Hope for the best. And it's been a great time talking to you all once again. I don't think anybody was on the board the first time I was around as president after Dr. Law left us. But it's been a lot more peaceful. Okay, that this term was a lot more peaceful than the previous one. It was crossover into transition and all the budget issues at that time.
Knock on some wood, Mr. Tiller. Knock on some wood.
Right here. So anything would be more peaceful than that first year up here. But I do thank you all personally and from the organization. So thank you all again.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else for public comment? Ms. Mullins? I knew she was coming.
I want to extend an invitation to the board this evening to come up and visit the GoTech Lab. and see what great opportunity has been given to our children. I will be upstairs in between your meeting and closed session, and I hope that you will come and see what wonderful things that we've been given. So please come, and I'll be up there waiting on you.
And you're on
Thank you.
third floor, correct?
Third floor, right off the elevator.
Okay, thank you.
We have anyone else for public comment? All right. Moving along, the next agenda item is the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes, approval of monthly invoices, revenue and expenditure summary, discussion of school activity funds, approval of field trips, approval of new elementary school construction invoices, the approval of the construction bank reconciliation document, and Dixon County Public Schools Health Statement Account. Are there any questions or discussion on the consent agenda items? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay. No discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. So our next agenda item is information for the school board. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, board members. Just for information on the board, there are two upcoming conferences, one on Friday, May the 31st, and the other one on July the 23rd. If you're interested in attending one or the other, or would like to attend possibly virtual, please contact Tanya Baker, and she will be more than happy to, delighted to make any arrangements for you. Thank you, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Robinson, will you tell us some good news from our schools?
Well, I'm going to ask Ms. Martin to come to the front.
Good evening, Board. This evening I share with you our April attendance and enrollment. Once again, in your packet, you have the attendance percentages. You have the monthly comparison that has the comparison for 4 years, the entry and withdrawals, and then you also have a summary of the absence intervention team's monthly notes. And also included your monthly picture that I do for you that shows what the kids have done. And then this month I also have shared with you sort of a flyer that each school has done for their end of the year activities that wasn't like graduation or awards day or anything. It's just sort of attendance, fun kind of things, because historically after SOLs, that's when our attendance just plummets. Kids are done, they're finished with their test, and so we have a hard time getting them to come to school. So we encourage the schools to do some fun activities and some end-of-the-year bashes and sort of that sort of thing. And so I'm going to talk about that here in just a few minutes and tell you some of the things that the schools have been doing this week to have some fun with the kids and encourage them to come. Our enrollment for April, for the end of April, does show that we have a decrease of 2 students. We ended the month of April with 1,773 students in K through 12. We had 19 students in the 3-year-old program and 75 students in pre-K and postgraduate, for a total number of 1,867, which again is a decrease of 2 students. For our attendance percentage for the month of April was Clintwood Elementary School, again won the banner at 92.16%. Ridgeview Elementary School was a second for the month with 89.22%. As you see in your handout, we're still tracking our chronic absenteeism. The numbers are a little daunting looking there, but I want to again note for you that the exceptions are not removed from that. That's the homebound or any student that's not was not enrolled with us over 50% of the time, or if a student was home-based, those numbers have not been taken out, or any student that would get credit for doing the after-school at the middle school and the elementary school. For every 2 days that they stay for after school, they get a day off, a day subtracted for every 2 hours. For every 3 hours at the high school, they get a day off. So hopefully when we able to subtract those, that'll bring our chronic numbers down as well. So again, those have not been subtracted from those chronic numbers. To share with you some of the activities that the school's been doing, Ridgeview Elementary School's been doing field day, Clintwood Elementary School's been doing field day, the middle school has an end-of-the-year bash, and they're doing things, some of the things I'm not sure what it entails, and I've been trying to sneak off to come up here, and things have been a little crazy in my office, so I've not had a chance. And then I was a little scared of coming on one of them because I wasn't sure what it entailed, so I was afraid I would be attacked with one of them. I don't know what a foam party is, but I think the kids have been enjoying it. They've had inflatables. They had a dunking booth up here yesterday. I think some of the resource officers were involved, and I don't know if they got Chris Mullins in that dunking booth. I think they tried. I don't think he was, they couldn't get him to get in. I think Stephanie Mullins was in the dunking booth. I think they've got some end-of-the-year picnics planned for some of the groups. The high school had a reverse powder puff volleyball game, and I had a hard time trying to figure out reverse powder puff volleyball. And so I called Chris Owens and I said, what is that? He said, that means the guys are playing volleyball. I said, okay, why didn't you just say it's the guys playing volleyball? But the kids seem to be enjoying it, and our attendance isn't as bad as it was last year. It's still looking a little bleak because it is the end of the year and kids are ready for summer, but it's not as bad. So hopefully the ones who are coming to school are enjoying themselves. Clintwood, I know their attendance is looking real good because they're taking every advantage to celebrate that school's last hurrah, if you will. So we've got water slides, face painting. I think the sheriff's department has been coming out, participating. A lot of the fire departments and rescue squads have been coming out for each event and helping. So we've had a lot of community involvement in all the end-of-the-year school events, too. Any questions on the attendance that I've shared with you?
I would also like to add that Ridgeview High School, and I'd like to recognize the Ridgeview High School and Ridgeview Middle School cafeteria. They had graduation practice yesterday, and then after practice, the cafeteria served a wonderful meal, a brunch for all the seniors, and that was wonderful, and enjoyed by all. And then today, of course, they had Senior Award Day, and so a lot of celebrations for our seniors. So I want to recognize our cafeteria staff for all of their hard work in getting all the brunch and all the food, and also Ms. Compton, who coordinated that.
And I believe each one of the schools that have PTOs, I think all the PTOs have been real involved with doing extra stuff for all the kids at all the schools as well for the end of the school. Any questions about attendance figures? That sort of veered off for the end of the school kind of things.
Any questions for Ms. Martin? Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Okay, thank you.
So our next agenda item is the update on the Ridgeview Elementary School. Mr. Burge.
I'd like to thank Mr. Burge for the tour today.
Sorry, you missed it, Jason.
I apologize, Mr. Burge, for not making it. I did do a self-walking tour around the exterior. I did the exterior tour. There you go.
Well, it's coming together pretty well, the new elementary school. They are now painting walls, finishing up some sheet rock, ductwork. They should be setting units on the roof this week possibly. Ceramic tile will be starting this week or next week. Curtain wall is going in now, so the buildings can be closed in. The low voltage for data and cameras and fire alarm, that's all being pulled right now. Ceiling grid will be starting in the next week or so, so that we can start putting lights and ducts, drops in and all that. So it's coming along real well. The outside is coming along as well. The exterior is pretty much done other than the curtain wall around the stairwell. And then there's one wall that gets ceramic panels that have not arrived yet. I know most of you just walked the building, so you kind of saw where we are. I've kind of went through this one here. This is a view of the corridor. Like I said, I've already kind of talked about what's going on. So we move to the next line. This is, again, it's still within budget. Furniture's already been ordered. Some of it's starting to come in and being stored. All the phones and the interactive boards have been purchased. And the project still remains on schedule and within the budget. This is a picture of the south side of the building. As you can see, they've got the glass in. They still got to put the pressure cap on and the trim pieces, but it's like coming together pretty quick. This is the west side, same thing. It's ready, we're just waiting to finish up. Next. This is actually the north side, and you can see the stairwell there. Like I said, it's coming along. At least we're closed in good now where we can finish the drywall. As soon as the curtain wall was in, the drywall guys jumped right on, finishing out up to the windows. Looks real good. Next. Stairwell. This is just a picture of the stairwell. Next. Here's another view. This is a view looking towards the middle school, one of the classrooms on the first floor. This is another view of the classroom. This is on the first floor as well. Next. This is a second floor, north side classroom. As you can see, the ductwork has already ran up to the roof. The rain meters are installed. The sprinkler lines are there. The whips for the light fixtures are installed, just waiting for the grid to get in and the paint, first coat of paint. Another picture here of the corridor. See the bump outs just like the elementary school has in it. They'll be painted color coordinated just like the others. Next. Another picture of the classroom. This is, I think, the second floor out the south side. Next. That's all of them. Things are coming along well. Like I said, I did receive a new schedule last week from Quisenberry, a more detailed schedule so I can push them harder to make sure they are meeting all their dates. Thus far, everything is meeting the dates. I just stand on them to make sure that we are going to meet our dates for school opening. Just a quick update on Sandlick, if that's all right.
Please.
Demo is nearing completion down at Sandlick. We have probably maybe a fourth of the original building slab still to pull out. The rest of it's been pulled out and all the gym and all that. It has been quite interesting down there. Nobody knew it, but the slab on the old part of the building had number 8 rebar, which is 1 inch thick, every 8 inches in the floor. And then like a number 3/4 bar every 8 inches going the other way. So it has been a big challenge, or they have already been out of there, to get the demo done. So if anybody says, well, why is it taking so long? Well, we've had some unexpected rebar that nobody could have anticipated. But it's coming along well. With DEQ, he's been doing some inspections. I've been doing mine. Everything seems to be going well there. Quite pleased. Within probably, I think they were supposed to get a bulldozer today to start kind of smoothing it up. So that'll be nice to see it kind of leveling back out. But anyway, that's what I have. Anybody got any questions for me?
Any questions, Mr. Burge?
All right, we all have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Burge. I apologize again for standing you up. All right. So our next agenda item is the update on the FY25 DCPS budget. Mrs. Taylor.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. Just ask you to bear with me this evening. Today is day one of progressive lenses, so you may see a little bit of extra movement while I try to read my papers here. I wanted to give you an update on the fiscal year 25 budget. On Monday, May 13th, Governor Youngkin did sign the state budget that was passed by the General Assembly. As a result of having an actual approved state budget, we do have some revenue projection changes that we want to make you aware of. Those will affect our expected state funding, the required local match, and additional local funds. We do expect a decrease of $163,070 in state funds. That is due to a decrease of ADM that is expected due to our projected enrollment numbers for next fiscal year, 24-25. There is going to be a decrease in sales tax and an increase in the per pupil allocations. There's a decrease in sales tax and then an offsetting increase in per pupil, but the net effect of that is a decrease of state funds, $163,070. Because there is a decrease in state funds, as you're aware, the required local match is tied to the amount of state funds. As a result, we do expect a $35,450 decrease in required local match. And we are also expecting the potential $200,000 decrease in the additional request for funds from Dickinson County. Of course, this is unofficial, and we would not be able to move forward with the exact budgeted revenue until we get an approved budget from the Board of Supervisors in Dickinson County. Now, how does this affect Dickinson County Public Schools? When you add these together, it is a budget deficit of $398,520 from the version of the budget that was approved on March 27th. So in the future months, we will need to do an amendment to our budget. Also, at this point in time, we are only able to plan for a 3% plus step increase across the board as approved by the state budget, and any additional salary increases that we had considered in the past. We are not looking at those unless we were to get a different revenue outlook. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have about that. If you have any questions that come up later, feel free to call Superintendent Robinson, myself, or Lacey Edwards, and we'd be glad to discuss those with you.
Anybody have questions for Ms. Taylor? All right. Let's see, the next agenda item is the approval of health, dental, and vision premium costs for DCPS employees for the 24-25 school year. Ms. Taylor.
Okay, you have these in your packet. There is a proposed health insurance rates page for fiscal year 24-25. You also, behind that, would have our current health insurance rates for 23-24 for your reference. I will go through and read through the proposed rates for 24-25. In the health insurance category, employee coverage would be a monthly employee contribution of $90. Dickinson County Public Schools would contribute $1,120. Monthly total account funding for employee-only coverage is $1,210. Over to the right, you will see that that is a monthly increase to our employees in the amount of $10. Employee plus one minor child, monthly employee contribution is $112.50. Dickinson County Public Schools contributes $1,250. That's total account funding of $1,362.50, and that is a monthly increase to the employee of $12.50. Employee plus children, monthly employee contribution $129.50. Dickinson County Schools contributes $1,350. Total account funding of $1,479.50, and that is an increase to the employee this year of $14.50. Employee and spouse coverage, monthly employee contribution is $168.75. Dickinson County Public Schools contributes $2,000 per month. Monthly total account funding for employee and spouse is $2,168.75, which is, over on the right, you'll see that that is a monthly increase to the employee portion of $18.75. And the employee family coverage, monthly employee contribution is $180. Dickinson County Schools contributes $2,150. The total monthly account funding for employee family coverage is $2,330. And over to the right again, you will see that the increase to the employee contribution from one year to the next is $20 for a family plan. Moving down, we will go over our dental insurance rates for fiscal year 24-25. We have been advised that there is going to be a 25% increase for dental. Dickinson County Public Schools contributes $30 per month for all levels of coverage, employee plus minor child, or employee family. That leaves the monthly employee contribution rates for employee coverage at $8.25. Employee plus one minor child is $16.25. And employee plus family coverage is $35.25. And again, that is a 25-cent per month increase. The last item on the proposed insurance rates is our vision insurance rates for fiscal year 24-25. I just want to remind you that we started this plan in 23-24. We are under a 3-year contract, so there are no changes in rates for the vision insurance this year. I do not expect any for next year as well. For the employee contributes nothing for employee coverage. Dickinson County Public Schools covers that premium. It's $3.66 per month. For the employee and spouse coverage, the employee would pay $3.48 per month. Dickinson County pays the $3.66 for the employee. Employee plus children, the employee will pay $3.84. Dickinson County will pay the $3.66. And for employee family, the employee pays $7.21, while Dickinson County maintains their $3.66 per each tier. Just want to remind everyone as well that we are currently in open enrollment period for our employees, and if you do not previously have vision and you would like to add vision for your family members, you do have to go and elect that. You will automatically be covered as an employee if you go on the health plan, but if you want to cover a spouse, children, or your family, you would need to go in and elect that prior to May the 31st. And if you have any questions about the proposed insurance rates, I'd be glad to answer those for you.
Board members, any questions for Mr. Taylor? All right. Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the health, dental, and vision premium costs for employees as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Next is the approval of the DCPS retirement incentive, DCPS policy GBO. Mrs. Robbins.
Thank you. Board members, this is the retirement incentive that the board votes on each year for our employees that retire. You have a copy of that GBO in your packet this evening. The only change that we are recommending is on number 5, to clarify dental insurance, and I will read number 5 if the board would so allow me to do that. The employee will receive health dental insurance until he or she becomes eligible for Medicare or for a maximum of 7 years. After the employee becomes eligible for Medicare or exhausts the maximum of 7 years of insurance coverage, the employee may remain on dental insurance only and pay the entire premium. So we do allow that opportunity or that option for our employees. But that is the only change that we have for our policy. As you remember, this policy is based on budget, and I am delighted to be able to recommend for approval this policy for the 24-25 school year. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any questions about the retirement incentive? Okay. Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the DCPS retirement incentive, DCPS policy, GBO, as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second? Got a second? Okay. All right. All those in favor, or any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Next agenda item is the update on the transition of Glenwood Elementary School to the Ridgeview campus for the 24-25 school year. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks and board members. This is an item that has monthly on the agenda, and soon it will be off the agenda. But as you saw the building today, we're moving forward with finishing the newest addition to Ridgeview Elementary School. And our schools at Ridgeview Elementary and then the classrooms that are changing to Ridgeview Middle School, we're all busy trying to pack and decide what's going and what's not going to our new school. Again, if you'll notice the number of students at the bottom of the page, we have revised those students and the numbers. At Ridgeview Elementary School, we're projecting 642 students. That's with the pre-K and the K projected drop in enrollment. Ridgeview Middle School, 574, 5th through 8th, and then Ridgeview High School, 575, 9th through 12th grade. Again, we're proceeding, we're busy, and I want to recognize our teachers and our staff, our administrators, our maintenance staff, and our custodians who are getting our buildings ready to move and finishing up this year. It's a busy time of the year, but I just want to recognize all their hard work and appreciate them. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Robinson from the board? All right. Hearing none, we'll have board comments. Mr. Mullins, would you like to start?
Sure. Well, it was real exciting to go through the newest addition to the elementary, and I think it's even going to be more of exciting to see every student in Dickinson County here. So there've been so many people in so many ways doing so much work, and finally all this is going to come to reality. I'm just really, really proud of that.
Well, I too would like to thank Mr. Birch for giving us the tour. I know as we were walking down one of the hallways, I don't remember if it's kindergarten or first grade, but they had the pictures of the kids on the wall from the first day of school, and then another picture here towards the end of the school year, and it's interesting to see how some of them have changed. And it got me to thinking about graduation this coming Friday night. That'll be my first one as a board member. And I get to thinking about some of the changes that those seniors have seen over the last 12 plus years, and it's an exciting time for them. And I think we've done our level best to prepare them for what's coming. And I just wish them all the best and Godspeed for those seniors Friday night.
As we've talked about construction a lot, I'll share this. I was at the spring VSBA board regional there a while back, and a few of the several of our local state senators and those folks were all there, and they sat at a round table, and one of the big questions that came up from a lot of the school systems there was, hey, how can we get some money for construction and to, to redo our schools and those kind of things, so we forget just how blessed we are to be able to finish this when everybody else is struggling with that, and here we've got as efficient and modern and comfortable building as anybody in the entire region around, so maybe it probably even extends far beyond our little Region 7 here, and so we truly are blessed, and to be able to finish this project will be, I'm sure that a lot of people around here, that as long as construction is being going on in the school system here lately, they're going to be thankful that construction finally comes to an end.
Yes.
That I'd still just like to congratulate our teachers and just everybody that's involved within our school system and with our children on a successful year, a good year, and for all the accomplishments that they've had. I'd like to congratulate all of our graduates that are coming up. I'd like to thank those folks that put on the prom and the after prom party and all those things to keep our kids safe and keep them entertained. I heard that was a very successful event, and then I'm looking forward to hearing this update on our track team that's in competition right now, and we'll hear that after board comments. So good luck to them, regardless where that finishes out at. We're proud of each and every team and each and every program that we have. Mr. Rath?
I'd like to say thanks to all the parents, grandparents, and other caregivers for the children, and the efforts of the teachers and the bus drivers, cooks, custodians, and everybody associated with the school division. And we've seen the evidence on many occasions before this board of the opportunities that have been open to our students, and we all need to take a certain amount of pride in that, and our students certainly have every reason to be proud, and it's been an honor to serve with them in that journey. It's the avenues that opened because of the numbers and because the classrooms could be fulfilled, be filled to have enough students to have a class. And in my later years at Overton High School, we had a student that needed the advanced math, and can't offer an advanced math class for one student. It was sad. They found a way to get the class, but that day is so different than what we have today. These students can, if they choose the right path, many of them can probably leave here with 2 years of college without having to pay the tuition, and that's a wonderful thing. And the fact is, I think overall, our folks have, with the help of law enforcement and everyone else, we've had safe venues, and our students have been safe. We've been blessed, and we all around this country. Not everybody can say that, but we certainly have a lot to be proud of, and I'm very thankful to everyone that had something to do with that.
I too would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2024. A lot to look forward to. It was exciting. Today I got to attend the award ceremony, and congratulations to all the seniors that won academic awards, and also some scholarships that were handed out today. Congratulations to all those seniors. Just to kind of speak a minute on the budget, I know it got a little tougher, some of the information tonight, but I know we'll work through it. I'd like to kind of petition the board to consider keep an open mind about a few things that I've been thinking about with the upcoming state approved 3% raises in the next 2 years. I'd like to take us a look at some alternatives to it being a uniform 3%. It has a tendency over the years, unintended consequences when you're continually doing those uniform percent raises. That helps the higher-end salaried staff a little more than it does the lower end, a lot more sometimes. So I'd like for us to think about that and see what we can do, and have some discussions about if we can help some of the lower-end staff a little more in the next 2 years. We may have an opportunity to do that. I think our custodians, cooks, aides, some of those some of those folks, they need it. Difficult times with the economy and inflation and some of those things, so if we could do that, and still help all of our staff, I think it would be a good thing to try to do.
All right. So at this time, we'll go into closed session. Closed session pursuant to Section 2.2-3711, Paragraph A of the Code of Virginia, there will be a closed session for the purpose of, 1, employment issues related to discussion or consideration of specific individuals for employment as teachers, bus drivers, resignation, and retirements pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A. To consult with legal counsel regarding the investment of public funds associated with school construction and consultation regarding actual or probable litigation, along with consultation regarding specific matters requiring legal advice pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-71A, 6, 7, and 8 of the Code of Virginia. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Is there a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are now in closed session. Ms. Robinson, will you please read the certification?
Yes, sir. Whereas the Dickinson County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this day pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickinson County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only the public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered. Would you please certify?
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
Okay. Are there any motions from closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board approve employment recommendations as presented in closed session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we have any other business to discuss?
Mr. Chair, graduation is on Friday evening.
What time is that, Ms. Robinson?
6 o'clock on May the 24th, sir. So I just welcome all of our board members to attend 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business to discuss? All right. Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second? And we have a second.